Za 99 godina odlična forma. Bravo. Drage kolege, predstavljamo vam Amandu Levit. Amanda, dobrodošla u Filharmoniju, čekali smo vas dugo.
Wow, you are an impossible act to follow. That was absolutely wonderful. And thank you, Belgrade Philharmonic. Thank you, everybody, for inviting me here today. And before I describe what will be your new home, I want to acknowledge Ivan Tasovats. He, more than anyone, I never met him, but I know, knew what Belgrade needs. And I promise you, we will work tirelessly to realize his vision, because this is not about an architectural legacy. This is about the rebirth of Belgrade. And I feel the kind of weight of history, the weight of the moment, that we have been chosen and entrusted to design this incredibly important national building. And I think for me, this image, more than any other, kind of captures our intentions. And if you like, music and architecture are probably the greatest symbols that we have of culture and community. And we want to give form to that. And if you like, it's an expression of harmony. Harmony between building and landscape, harmony between East and West, harmony between generations, between different musical genres, between cultures. And you have in your city the most extraordinary jewel, the wilderness of Great War Island. And we feel really kind of humbled, but that we have a huge responsibility to honor this extraordinary place. And we want to do that by literally widening its reach. And so we're going to rewild the park and bring fauna and flora closer to the concert hall. And this will be a park for all life, and the building will be a building for all people. And just this act of rewilding the park sends, I think, a very important message about how we must bring nature closer to our cities, how we must make them greener, cleaner, and more beautiful. And what better vantage point in the world, what more spectacular geographical confluence could you have from which to project a progressive message of Serbia's future? On the confluence of two of the greatest rivers in Europe, equidistant between Vienna and Istanbul, next to the Palace of Serbia, overlooking Old Belgrade. It is the most phenomenal sight. And it also holds huge historic significance because it's where the Vinča people settled. The first alphabet was invented. The first dwellings were arranged around a communal social space. It is this equidistant point of two cultures which are so important to your city. And it will be fundamental to the heart of Belgrade. And it is, if you like, 4 musical moments in the park, 4 different performing venues, where we let the park into the building and we let you see out to the park wherever you are, all arranged and encircling this communal social space. And between the venues, this very kind of slow, gentle curve of the roof binds everything together and creates this social space at the heart. And it's arranged, the 4 venues share a backstage, which was quite a kind of breakthrough, and I'm sure that you'll understand that. And we have to make sure that this place works just as well when it's empty as when it's full, and it'll have its own changing tempo according to the time of day. But we're talking here about a scale. This is so much more than just a concert hall, because this is a civic space at its heart, at a really urban scale. It's like we brought the town square into the building so that everybody will feel welcomed here. Everyone will want to be here. You don't even have to come to a concert or a performance to be here. You don't have to spend money to be here. It will just be a wonderful place to be, having walked through the park. And this is an image of one of the venues, the podium, which looks out onto the landscape, and where you will perform to your outside audience for your outdoor performances. And I talked about harmony, but we also want to talk about the harmonics and the movement of harmonics and how we can give that expression in the building. And I hope that you, more than anyone else, will be able to look at those very simple diagrams and see the line of the movement of the conductor's baton, the line of harmonics, and how we begin to play that out in the shape of the very halls themselves, which are in turn a reflection of the acoustic qualities inside, and of the way that we drape the facade from one piece of roof to another. And this is, I think, the image that really captures this idea of the harmonics of line of movement, and how we want to amplify this. And we've done that by designing a lake, because of course this used to be marshland, and it was the marshland that allowed the Serbian people to flourish here in the first place. So it's a kind of reference back to that, and to make the soil more fertile. And in this lake, you have the reflection, the kind of duplicity, if you like, of the line of the movement of the building. And above the cultural hub, you can see this roof terrace, this spectacular roof terrace, where you will be able to look towards the confluence of the two rivers, towards Old Belgrade, and have the most incredible perspective of your city. And this is, there's this kind of magic moment when the performance is building up, and the twilight, the magic of the twilight moment as day turns to night. And how we're going to use the facade of glass, recycled glazed shingles to pick up this changing light that happens, this amazing light that you have, and use light to exaggerate the lines of movement. And then inside, the warmth of the colors inside will draw you in. So this is one of the entrances, but this is a building in the round. It has 4 entrances. It has no back or front because it is in the park. And something magic happens when night falls on Belgrade. And this is what we want to achieve, this kind of expression of movement and light that somehow picks up something of the essence of the incredible work that you perform. And this is an outdoor concert at night where the audience is outdoors looking back at the glittering facade of the building. And this is your entrance. This is the artist's entrance. So it's as joyful as the others, but a little bit more discreet, a little bit more separate. And there are some of you who might recognize yourself in the people that we have put carrying instruments. And we want to mark this moment with a beautiful blossom tree that kind of marks the changing of the season. But the entrance for you is as important as the entrance and the other entrances for the public. And this is your inside. You've had a drink maybe in the social space, and now you're going to a concert. And this is a kind of in-between space, if you like, between the concert hall, between the social space, and the way that you get to it. And I was incredibly kind of taken by something that Mozart said. He said, music is not about the notes. It's about the silence in between. And I thought, that's why it is so important to look at the kind of poetics of space, of the in-between, that moment that will guide you into the hall. And this is the 1,600-seat concert hall. For now, it's in timber, but this is the area that we really are looking forward to work with you and understand what we have to do to make this place home for you. But what we're showing here is how we use the sculpting of the balconies for acoustic reflection, but also, again, to pick up this idea of the movement of the conductor's baton. And wood is about nature, it's about depth and warmth and musical instruments. And this is the 400-seat recital hall with a very different character. You have this very famous white Serbian marble. And by using this marble in the recital hall, it's like we're bringing a piece of your white city into the hall itself. And I want to end on maybe this slightly incongruous image. When we embark on a new project, and I have to say we have never designed a concert hall before, I like to read around the subject. And there's a beautiful book about the rebuilding of the Fenice Opera House in Venice. And there's a passage in it that talks about one of the craftsmen who went into the burnt ruin to try and salvage what he could. And he picked up a carved angel, and he brought it out, and he said, "This was not there just for decoration. This was there to make sure that nobody ever felt alone." And I felt so moved by that. I thought, okay, then we are going to search for those moments, less literal than the carved angel, don't worry about that, but those moments of soft focus where your eye can dwell, where your eye can rest, so you feel cocooned by the music and culture, because no one should ever feel alone. Thank you.
Hvala, Amanda. Sada će vas pozdraviti Darko Krstić, vršilac dužnosti direktora Beogradske filharmonije. Izvoli, Darko.
Poštovana gospođo predsjednice vlade, vaša ekscelencijo, poštovane dame i gospodo, dragi kolege, drago mi je da smo danas zajedno po Dana filharmonije i hvala dragoj Amandi na ovoj izuzetnoj prezentaciji, pošto budućnost Beogradske filharmonije konačno dobija svoje neke jasne konture. Pre mnogo godina, sa neumornim i neustrašivim entuzijazmom, naš nekadašnji dragi direktor Ivan Tasovac krenuo je u višedecenijski san da sagradi veličanstveni dom za Beogradsku filharmoniju, koji je vodeći orkestar u regionu, stvarajući međunarodno priznati centar za muziku, regionalni centar kulture i umetnosti i novi simbol Beograda i Srbije. Oduševljeni smo rešenjem studije LE, dizajnom koji ne samo da slavi jedinstvenost našeg orkestra i već pruža pristupačno, posebno i atraktivno mesto za društveno okupljanje u glavnom gradu Srbije, koje slavi stil života Beograda kao evropske metropole i novi dom Beogradske filharmonije, kakav zaslužuje. Hvala.
Čast mi je da je sa nama predsjednica vlade. Hvala na svoj podršci. Predsjednice, izvolite.
Hvala vam svima. Odlučila sam da za ovu priliku, iako nije naročito formalna, ipak napišem govor zato što imam toliko toga da kažem i ovo je tako emotivan dan da nisam htjela nešto da propustim, a i zbog emocija nekako nisam sigurna bila kako ću da se fokusiram, pa sam onda zapisala danas to što sam želela da kažem. Pre svega, poštovani članovi Beogradske filharmonije, gospodine Krstiću, dragi Darko, draga Jelena, dragi Gabriel, Maro, Tomo, poštovana Amanda, dragi prijatelji, dame i gospodo, meni je kao i uvek danas zadovoljstvo što sam gost vaš Beogradske filharmonije i što mogu da vam lično čestitam 99. rođendan. I kao što je Jelena rekla, to sam ja pomislila pa sam zapisala, verujte mi da mi delujete mnogo starije i ozbiljnije od 99 godina, što je verovatno kompliment jedino u muzici i u vinu. Ali svakako delujete i ozbiljnije i starije. Ja želim na samom početku da se vama zahvalim na nekoliko stvari. Hvala vam što ste nas toliko puta svojim koncertima učinili srećnim i ispunjenijim kao ljudska bića. Hvala vam što ste kulturu i muziku utkali u naše društvo i učinili je vidljivom i prijemčivijom. Hvala vam što ste nas time učinili i što nas stalno činite boljim ljudima. Naše društvo takođe nešto boljim i svakako mnogo, mnogo bogatijim. I hvala vam što uvek Srbiju predstavljate u inostranstvu na najlepši i najoriginalniji mogući način. Hvala vam na još milion stvari kojih je previše da ih sada nabrajam i u svakom slučaju hvala vam što postojite takvi kakvi ste. Najlepši način i najbolji mogući način da pokažemo tu zahvalnost kao zemlja i da pokažemo koliko značite i ovom gradu i ovoj zemlji je da vam konačno damo vaš dom, koncertnu dvoranu Beogradske filharmonije. Dom koji ste svojim radom i uspesima mnogostruko i odavno zaslužili. I zato sam posebno srećna danas što možemo da vidimo kako će taj dom izgledati. Hvala vama, Amanda, što ste učestvovali na konkursu koji smo raspisali sa našim kolegama iz UNDP-a i što ste sada u potpunosti uz nas i zaista mislim da svaki član našeg tima ovde to osjeća. I hvala vam što ćete dati sve od sebe da što pre krenemo da gradimo ovo zdanje za koje sam potpuno sigurna da će biti novi simbol našeg grada. Nama je želja da sledeće 2023. godine, kada budemo obeležavali 100 godina Beogradske filharmonije, krenemo u izgradnju vaše koncertne dvorane. I ova dvorana je svakako najveća kulturna investicija ili investicija u infrastrukturu, u kulturi, u čitavom ovom regionu u poslednjih nekoliko decenija i naš apsolutno najvažniji projekat u oblasti infrastrukture u kulturi. I želela sam da pričam o tome šta smo sve uradili u kulturi, ali čini mi se da u ovom trenutku to nije naročito važno zato što to ljudi ili vide ili ne vide i osjećaju ili ne osjećaju. Kao predsednica vlade ja jesam posebno ponosna što smo uradili mnogo i što smo kulturu stavili, pa ja sam je stavila u ekspoze kao jedan od osnovnih prioriteta i to i da završimo i Narodni muzej i Muzej savremene umetnosti i Narodno pozorište Bora Stanković u Vranju i da konačno krenemo u projekat izgradnje Fakulteta muzičke umetnosti, to vi najbolje znate da i Fakultet muzičke umetnosti konačno i po prvi put nakon više od 80 godina postojanja dobije svoju zgradu, Fakultet likovne umetnosti, Fakultet primenjene umetnosti, što smo pored specijalizovanih IT odeljenja u gimnaziji uveli još samo specijalizovana umetnička odeljenja i što ih širimo svake godine, što smo prva vlada u istoriji Srbije koja je uzela kredit za investicije u kulturu, za kulturne ustanove i institucije i što smo time pokazali da potpuno razumemo da kultura nije trošak, već da je par excellence za naše društvo i sve naše ljude investicija i da je jedna od najvažnijih investicija uz obrazovanje, zato što su obrazovanje i kultura u stvari primarni stubovi modernog savremenog, jakog, snažnog, uspešnog društva i što samo tako u stvari mi možemo da obezbedimo da sve ono što danas radimo, da se duplicira i multiplicira u budućnosti. Tako da sve ono što smo radili i što ćemo tek raditi i što planiramo jeste, čini mi se, mnogo drugačije od onoga što je radila bilo koja druga vlada u prošlosti. Kulturu smo stavili na jedan pijedastal kao i obrazovanje i moramo još mnogo toga da uradimo, ali da se vratim na početak, u stvari od svega što radimo i od svega što planiramo u kulturi, ova zgrada, vaša zgrada, vaš dom je apsolutno najvažniji projekat. Ja želim zato i danas da vas zamolim da svi vi date sve od sebe da se realizacija ovog projekta maksimalno ubrza i da krenemo u izgradnju što pre, da pokušamo da uštedimo svaki dan, jer što pre završimo izgradnju novog doma Beogradske filharmonije, to ćemo mi pre kao društvo postati mnogo bogatiji. I naravno, kao i uvek, ukoliko vam je u tome potrebna bilo kakva pomoć i podrška Vlade Republike Srbije, svakako dok sam ja tu, ali znam kako god bude bilo da će ovo ostati prioritet, mogu da vam garantujem da će vam Vlada Republike Srbije ostati na raspolaganju bukvalno 24 časa, 365 dana u godini. I na kraju moram nešto sasvim lično da kažem. Moja porodica, posebno moj mali sin, koga mnogi od vas ovde znaju, prilično vas davi, i neverovatan duh ovog zaista u pravom smislu te reči magičnog prostora čini da se ja ovde i sa vama uvek osjećam kao kod kuće u okruženju prijatelja i moje proširene porodice. Posebno za to želim da se zahvalim velikom, najvećem, večnom, ja mislim, direktoru Beogradske filharmonije, našem Ivanu Tasovcu, čoveku koji nam svima nedostaje svaki dan, koji se usudio da sanja ovako velike snove. A kad kažem ovako velike snove, u stvari nisam pre svega mislila na ovu koncertnu salu, koncertnu dvoranu. U stvari je hrabrije sanjao kada je mislio da filharmonija u našem društvu može da dostigne ove visine i status ikone gradskog i nacionalnog brenda. To je bio u stvari najhrabriji san i on ga je dosanjao. I da nije bilo njega, ne bi bilo ni ovakve filharmonije i ne bi bilo potrebe za koncertnom dvoranom i mi svakako danas ne bi bili ovde. Tako da želim i njemu da kažem, Taso, završit ćemo mi ovo ipak zajedno. Hvala vam mnogo.
Predsednici, hvala na ovako divnim rečima. Filharmoničari, srećan rođendan, idemo hrabro ka stotki. Za nas idemo dalje, za Tasu i za sve buduće. Ovim završavamo proslavu, očekujemo vas na jednom koktelu kako prilika i nalaže. Hvala svima.
Thank you.